really.
Once there was a girl named Lynn. She was like 12 years old. She thought she was all fancy and cool. She always wore a neon yellow shirt and neon pink shorts. And nobody understood why she wore any of those things. And she had this good friend Lori, and she wore a neon pink shirt and neon yellow shorts. So they were opposite all the time, and everybody made fun of them, but they didn't know it. But they always loved to go to the mall. So one night they're at the mall, and they decide they'll stay there until it closes. They'll hide, and then they'll creep around the mall while it's closed. Thing is, they didn't know it was a haunted mall.
Did the people that own the mall know? At the jewelry store, the earrings came with human ears attached. They'll rip your ears off!
Were they bloody?
To rip your ears off now, so you can put your
magic.
earrings on.
The smoothie shop had blood smoothie. Not just any blood, fresh blood. Bleach smoothies and other gross flavors like vomit, earwax.
Or blood.
They walked by a dress shop. The mannequins came alive, chased Lori 'cause they wanted actual clothes, not the weird ones they had at that particular dress shop.
They didn't like the
That
styles?
actually happened in Doctor Who. They all came alive.
Really?
Doctor Who, you watched that?
Yeah, this is the first episode.
Okay, so they're walking past the perfume section of the department store, and there was this ghost there laying there, and this thing like behind the counter, ghost, and she'd make a face, and you'd see how she was just bones underneath. She was all ghosty, and she sprayed him with a little bit of perfume, and it smelled like the rotting flesh of the grave, like worms and dirt and blood.
In an electronics store, all the TVs were showing zombie movies. And everybody watching was a zombie too. And they were like, they weren't even paying attention to him. And that was good, because otherwise they wouldn't have any knowledge. Because zombies eat their brains.
They eat their brains or they use their brains?
They eat their brains.
At the pet store, all the cages were filled with not just animals, but dead animals. Not just any dead animals, but animals with rotten flesh just peeling off them. So you could see their skeletons. They were birds, and they were just squeaking the weirdest sound he'd ever heard.
Birds
Shoot.
said, the birds would like,
There were feet in the shoes at the shoe store, and there was a sign on the window that said that buy a pair of shoes, get 2 feet free.
So there was a teenage skeleton. They could tell it was teenage because it would stand like this. You know, like it was a teenager. And it was at the cosmetics counter, and it was trying on lip balm, even though it didn't have any lips because it was a skeleton. Skeleton lip balm. And the ghost turned to them and said, you will be a ghost as well and haunt them all forever if you do not leave the mall by midnight. So suddenly they knew they had something to do. They had to get out of there.
they saw a security guard and yelled for help, but they turned around and had snakes coming out of his eyes. Like, they were English-speaking snakes, so they were like, "Hey, girls, how are you doing?"
They tried to escape to the food court, but slime exploded from the frozen yogurt machines. They didn't think it was normal slime either.
The normal slime that comes from yogurt
Giant
machines.
teddy bear.
Aim at your face while you're talking.
They were chased through the toy store by a giant teddy bear with fangs.
Oh my God!
Like lush fangs.
He was like,
Alright, that's just fun.
Okay, so they were desperate to get out. They had to get out because midnight was approaching. It was clicking down. Click, click. They looked up at all the clocks. It was almost midnight. They had to get out. So they yanked on the fire alarm. And when they pulled on the fire alarm,
the mob burst into flames.
The fire.
Firefighter smashed. They were like, firefighters, please get us out of here! Through the doors, and the girls escaped and didn't go to the mall for a whole week. The end! Dun, dun, dun.